Tonight, we begin with President Trump signing a series of executive orders today meant to provide some financial relief to Americans suffering the economic impacts of the pandemic. President Trump says he decided to bypass Congress and act on his own after 2 weeks of negotiations with congressional Democrats ground to a halt without settling on a new relief package. So let's go ahead and dive into these orders, which address mainly 4 issues: unemployment benefits, evictions, student loans, and payroll tax cuts. That extra $600 of unemployment from the federal government, that just ran out at the end of July, so let's go ahead and start there. So the president announced he will add an additional $400 per week to unemployment benefits. That extra $400 splits the difference between the $200 Republicans were pushing for and the $600 Democrats were pushing to maintain. But the order also states the federal government is only on the hook for 75% of that $400, and the states are supposed to handle the rest. So it's still unclear whether everyone will be getting that full $400. Here in Nevada, both the governor and the state treasurer have been quiet about the issue so far today, but the latter did indicate they'd be releasing something soon.
As far as the clients go, we've seen a huge uptick in the number of people looking for assistance, whether it's housing or utilities.
That was just yesterday. I talked to a local nonprofit about the state eviction moratorium expiring at the end of August, but that's a Nevada-specific thing. At the federal level, the eviction moratorium, that expired at the end of July.
I'm signing an executive order directing the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HHS, and CDC to make sure renters and homeowners can stay in their homes. So I'm protecting people from eviction.
So an extra layer of federal protection, but when that moratorium starts and how long it will last is still unclear.
First one is I'm providing a payroll tax holiday to Americans earning less than $100,000 per year. In a few moments, I will sign a directive instructing the Treasury Department to allow employers to defer payment of the employee portion of certain payroll taxes.
Another one of those executive orders. President Trump also said he might forgive these taxes and make the cuts permanent if he wins re-election. He also said he could extend that payroll tax holiday beyond the end of the year. And then the final order extends 0% interest rates and suspends most payments on student or at least federal student loans through the end of the year rather than the end of September, how it was before. This could also be extended into 2021. Now that the president signed those orders, it's unclear what will happen with negotiations over that proposed stimulus bill. One of the most contentious items being pushed by Democrats is a federal mandate that states provide mail-in voting for the presidential election. Earlier this week, Nevada joined a growing list of states set to mail registered voters' ballots out ahead of the election, something President Trump's pushed back against, saying it could take several weeks to count up all those ballots.
The bill also requires all states to do universal mail-in balloting, which nobody's prepared for, regardless of whether or not they have the infrastructure. They want to steal an election. That's all this is all about. They want to steal the election.
Earlier this week, his campaign filed a lawsuit against the state of Nevada, saying the bill, which Governor Sisolak signed, makes constitutionally problematic changes to election laws and hurts the electoral process.